Welcome back to week number 2 in the huddle. Head coach Stacy Carter. I'm your host Tom Taylor, talking Science Hill football. Going into this week's game against Siegel, Coach Carter, you said it's going to be a barn burner. These guys are deceivingly good at 0-4, and they proved it Friday night. It was a heck of a football game.
It was a heck of a football game, and we played a great opponent. They played a very tough schedule, and we knew what we were getting ourselves into. And luckily, they had to have a long trip, and hoping they were a little sluggish. And we got off to a great start, and we really needed it to win that football game.
And so we'll talk about it coming up here in a few minutes. Let's recap the season so far. Science Hill opened things up in Elizabethton 56-34. Won at Crockett in the conference opener 63-27. A couple of weeks back beat Morristown West here in Johnson City 48-0. Of course, Friday night defeating the Siegel Stars 52-28. Science Hill scored 219 points on the season. They're averaging 52 points a game. Their opponents have scored only 89. They're allowing only 22 points a game. After this week's road trip down to Brentwood, we come back for Tennessee High at Sullivan Central, Volunteer here at home at Daniel Boone. We'll wrap up, again, Halloween night here in Johnson City, Kermit Tipton Stadium against Graham Clark and the Dobbins-Vinton Indians. So a lot of football left before we get to the playoffs, and coming up, we're going to take a break and come back and talk about the Siegel Stars. As Coach said, they came to town with a lot of firepower, and they showed it. We'll come back and talk about it as In the Huddle with head coach Stacy Carter continues as you're watching Science Hill football.
From the day they're born, there's one thing most Johnson City families look forward to. Sure, for the baby to be healthy, smart, and happy, but also to be a topper, a Science Hill Hilltopper. For them to be part of one of the best high schools in Tennessee, where they'll be academic achievers, make friends for life, and play sports like no one else. So for all of those budding toppers out there, be patient. You'll have your day. From Champion Chevrolet Cadillac, where we think being a topper is an experience they'll remember for a lifetime.
Wake up to a new, better breakfast. It's Golden Corral's tastier than ever ultimate weekend breakfast buffet. For one low price, it's our new buttermilk pancakes, bacon, sausage, signature omelets, and more. Juice included. It's a better breakfast, and it's only at Golden Corral.
Back in the huddle talking Science Hill football. Head coach Stacy Carter again. The Hilltoppers entertain the Siegel Stars. And coach, you've outscored your opponents 118-20 in the first quarter. You needed a big start the other night against Siegel, and you got it. You jumped on them early. Tell me about it.
We definitely did. You know, we have been a fast-starting team, and against these good football teams, go back to the Elizabethton game, and especially this game, it was very important to get off to a fast start, and we were able to. Had some big explosive plays, and, you know, guys made plays. And, you know, every game's not like that, but this was very important to make plays early, and we were able to do that and get up to a 28-0 lead, and it just really helped our whole program. I mean, this game was big for the program. We knew it before we went into it. It was huge for us, and to get this under our belt it's just great for this football program.
I know you pretty well, and I know that sitting over there 28-0 in the first half thinking, this game's not over. These guys are still going to come at you. I promise you told those kids that, didn't you?
Well, we knew what we were in for because we knew what kind of team they had, and I think our kids knew that also, and we've talked about that all week. You know, we had a chance to put them away there. They had a great drive going, and some penalties hurt us really bad. Some of them, I don't know if they were there or not, but it really hurt us, and it kind of gave them the momentum in the second quarter. But our kids were able to fight through that. You know, it's going to happen in games. There are going to be things that happen, things that go against you, and that kind of kill the momentum, and it did, but we were able to get back on track.
You're watching In the Huddle with head coach Stacy Carter. We're talking Science Hill football. I'm your host, Tom Taylor. And let's get started. The highlights, it starts again with that quarterback, a special kid. We talk about him every week. Malik Magoo, 6 touchdowns, passed for 4, rushed for 2. It's a broken record, but here we go again. This kid's the real deal.
No, what a great night. I think he had over 500 yards total offense. I mean, you just don't hear that much. And he keeps doing it. I mean, he made some great plays with his feet. He made some great plays scrambling. He made some great plays on just regular called runs and some great checks at the line. So he kind of did it all. Did a whole lot of stuff for us. He just commanded the team and made some big, huge checks down the road. And just kind of whatever they gave us, he just took advantage of it. So just one of those good nights for him. And, I mean, it's getting to be like a broken record, like you said, but, I mean, it's happening all the time. So it's not a fluke. It's been happening for a long time, and he keeps on doing it.
I was going to say, it may be a broken record. We're going to play that hit over and over and over. Malik Magoo, because this kid's the deal. Plus, let's be honest, he has a great cast of characters surrounding him, too, a surrounding cast. As we'll talk about these young men, too, because it's more than just Malik Magoo. Of course, he makes it go, but he's got to have a supporting cast to make it happen. Coach, let's pick up that first touchdown early in the ball game. Malik takes it in from a yard out. Describe the play.
Well, we had a big play to Mikey White to get the ball down there. I think it was the first play of the game. We hit a crossing route and a great throw by Malik and a great catch by Mikey, taking it on down there. And then we were able to have set him up for a short run to our left side behind Malcolm White and got the score early.
Second touchdown of the ball game. Mikey, again, he had 5 catches in the ball game, one of those for a touchdown. Here's the pass from Mikey from Malik to Mikey. Describe that play.
Well, we ended up getting the ball. I think they dropped the punt. They dropped the snap and gave us great field position. I think they stopped us on the first run, and then we were able to throw a shallow crosser to Mikey. They blitzed. He came wide open, and Malik got it right to him real quick, and he pretty easy in the end zone. But, Mikey had a super game, so that was a great score for him.
Scouting report coming into the ball game. Siegel, defensively, what typically did they do on film last week as you watched it? And did they do that, or did they do some changes during the game Friday night?
Most of the teams in Murfreesboro are running 4-2-5, and they're pretty solid in what they do. They do it well, kind of like a Tennessee High team, a Bristol team. They run a 4-man front, and they don't get away from it much. And very sound technique-wise, and we got exactly what we thought we were going to get. But they're very good at what they do, and that's what we saw.
Talking to head coach Stacy Carter's in the huddle talking Science Hill football. Thank you for being with us, by the way. We love talking about the Hilltoppers. And up 14-0. Here we go again. Touchdown this time from Malik to Marcus Patton. Set up this touchdown.
Well, first of all, Marcus has just had a phenomenal year. He's kind of that quiet guy you don't hear about. He's getting big scores every week. He's a great kid, just a super person. Has been in it. You don't hear nothing about him. He just goes on about it, plays both ways, plays all the time. Him and Mikey get a little bit of rest, but he ran just an out route, just a 12-yard out, and Malik threw it on time, threw it before he even broke. He made a great catch and got it in the end zone, but he is quietly just been probably one of our top receivers, with not the top receiver on our team. That's
a sign of a good quarterback and obviously a sign of a good receiver, the timing pattern where he goes down, makes his cut, boom, the ball's there. That shows they've practiced that over and over and over, and again, the timing between quarterback and receiver, that's something that you coach, and that time obviously it was there.
Well, we throw a lot. We throw a lot in practice. The kids throw a lot in the off season. Something they like to do. I mean, it's not like it's hard when the kids have fun throwing the ball around, and it's something we do a lot. They enjoy doing it. We don't care if we drop one. We're just going to throw the next one. So I think you got to have that mindset. If you're going to throw the ball, you got to, prepare. You have some drops, but you're going to keep on throwing it and having a good time with it.
Final, the quick first half of scoring. The final score comes on set this one up too, Coach, a touchdown pass, again from Malik, this time to Elijah Mathis from 17 yards out.
It was one of them that we got backed up on. Things weren't going real smooth, and Malik bought some time with his feet. I think we had all slants called, and he was able to. Elijah Mathis made a great catch over the middle in traffic, right in the middle of the end zone. Just a super play by Elijah. He continues to keep doing it, and had another great game also.
We're just getting started. This is the beginning. We'll take a break, come right back. There's more scoring opportunities for the Hilltoppers, which they take advantage of, winning this ball game 52-28. Also, we're going to talk to Coach about this kid named Greedy. The running back for Siegel was a heck of a running back the other night, a man among boys, had an outstanding night, but it wasn't enough as the Hilltoppers prevail at home here before a huge crowd at Kermit-Tipton Stadium. So we'll take a break, come right back, and show some more highlights as you watch and hear the Stacy Carter Show in the huddles. You're watching Science Hill Football. Back in the huddle with head coach Stacy Carter. I'm your host Tom Taylor, talking Science Hill football, top 10 of the state. Rankings again, Hilltoppers top 5 in the great state of Tennessee. We'll put that on the line this coming Friday night in Middle Tennessee against Brentwood Academy. We'll talk more about that in a moment. Coach, a young man, I know down through the years when you and I have talked, you always say, and you're right, keys to ball games are special teams. You got to have a good punter, got to have a good place kicker. Science Hill's got both, and your place kicker is a dynamite young man, Alex Ranellis. Tell me about this young man.
You know, Alex is a phenomenal player. He works very, very hard in the off season. Even every day, he is kicking all the time. I mean, sometimes we have to tell him to slow down for the game, think he's going to get worn out. But, he's really – and he's improved every year. And a phenomenal kicker. I think he can kick on the college level for sure. Kicks off the ground. I don't know if anybody has noticed that, but he still kicks the ball very high on his field goals. Had a great field goal. Also, made a great hit. They had a punt return and they broke one. He came up through the middle and made a great tackle. So he did a little bit of everything. Just proud of him and what he's done for our program. And a tremendous kid, a tremendous talent.
As we look at the highlight of the 24-yard field goal, plus he was 7 for 7 point afters. You said he does not use a tee. Now, for the fans out there listening that may not pick up on that, tell us the difference between a tee and not a tee. Apparently, not many kids kick without a tee now, right?
Well, in high school, you can kick with a tee, and it gives you advantage. It gets the ball up higher and faster. In college, you cannot. And it makes it, more difficult. He's getting ready for college, and he's able to do it just as well from the ground, so we just let him kick on the ground all the time. The only time he has a problem if he's playing in a grass field that has high grass, it's not groomed like the college fields are. It makes it a little tougher, but he's doing very well with that.
Alex Ranello, 24-yard field goal and 7 for 7 on point after attempts. The big win again Friday night against Siegel. Coach, the second touchdown of the night for Marcus Patton. Again, over the middle. Again, a thing of beauty. A 4-yard catch from Malik Magoo set up that play.
Well, I mean, it was a great play for us. We had another play called. I signaled in. I had 2 outs called, and Malik looked out and seen that they had it covered. And I was over on the sideline saying, "Please don't run that play." And immediately he saw it. He made a check to all slants and was able to, something like you see in the pros. Hit those slants right in the middle. He threw it real quick to Marcus, made a great catch, and just a super play for us under a lot of pressure. In the end zone, a little short. We were empty set, 5 wide receivers, and run all slants, and he was able to make a great throw and a great catch.
Then Malik comes back and runs it in from 5 yards out on a quarterback keeper. Set up this play.
Again, he went to the right side this time instead of the left side. We were able to march it down there. That was a very important score of the game, and just to kind of seal it off for us. And we went on the right side, and we faked left, went right, and just a little zone play to the right, and we was able to score.
Let's talk for just a second before we get to this last highlight. Again, we're talking to Coach Carter in the huddle here again with Science Hill football. Let's talk about Greedy House. Kid, 207 yards. Obviously seen a great running back earlier in the season, Elizabethan kid Thomas. Tell me about Greedy House. What kind of runner was he? The fans didn't get a chance to see him, and how does he compare to Thomas?
He is an outstanding running back. Taking another away from Ethan. Ethan is one of the best players I've seen in high school. And Greedy is a real good football player. He probably has a little bit more speed and a little bit more elusive, but I don't think he's quite as strong as Ethan. So 2 great competitors. I couldn't tell you which was better, but I tell you both of them are very, very fine football players, and they did well.
Both can tote the mail, right?
They definitely can. I like to have both of them.
There you go. Now, something you were telling me before we got started here, 229 plays. Kind of describe that. A lot of folks don't realize maybe how many plays involved in the course of a high school football game. And I made you tell me that 3 times, 229 plays. Tell me about that.
Well, I mean, we do these no-huddle offenses, and both teams were doing those, and they just go real fast-paced. And we get a lot more plays than we used to. Back when I played, if you got 60 plays in a game, offensive plays, that was a lot of plays. Now we're getting 100-plus. The guys are playing about 2 games in one. A lot of people on the outside will think, well, why are these games, everybody's scoring so many times? Because they're snapping about twice as many plays because you're getting twice as many scores, and it's harder on the defenses. It's a lot of fun. People have a good time playing, but it's a fast-paced game. Hard on the kids. I think you got to monitor that too during practice because if you're old school, you're sitting there thinking that you should always push harder, but you got to count those plays. It's just kind of like a pitcher in baseball. Once he gets to a certain limit, you got to watch and take care of him, and we watched that very carefully because they ran a lot of plays on Friday.
229 plays. That is amazing in a high school football game, or college football game for that matter. So certainly a high school football game, and yet that shows obviously your kids, Hilltoppers, are in shape because that's a lot of plays. That's a lot of time out on the field, isn't it?
Well, they can play themselves in shape. We practice fast like that. We're doing the no-huddle stuff. Now I think we're going to back off a little bit because I think you have to be ready to play on Friday, and you got to let your body recover. And if we just come in here on Tuesday and Wednesday and just wear them out like that, they're not going to be ready for Friday also. So, you got to be smart. There's a balance there, and we're going to work on it this upcoming week also to make sure we balance that right.
All the touchdowns up to this point came from the offensive side of the football, but a young man had a big fumble return for touchdown. Set this one up for the Hilltoppers.
Well, right before this happened, Mikey had a great interception and kind of got the ball back for us and helped to seal this. And then they had their quarterback went out injured, and they had a backup come in, had a bad snap. He fumbled the snap. Nakai Smith was able to come and pick it up and kind of seal the deal for us, and I had a big return, scooped it right off the ground. We had a great pressure, and he was able to. He runs very well. He's one of those upcoming sophomores that we're going to see great things out of. He is going to be a tremendous football player. Already is a good football player, but he is going to be tremendous. So it was great to see those young guys get their hands on the ball and do some great things with it.
A 51-yard rumble for a fumble return from Nakai Smith. And, of course, that closed out the scoring. Again, Science Hill wins at 52-28. Malik Magoo, 23 rushes, 167 yards, pass for 285 yards. Mathis, 3 catches, 119 yards, a touchdown. Patton, 6 catches, 51 yards, 2 touchdowns. Mikey White did everything the other night, tackling, interceptions. Tell me about his numbers.
Mikey had 12 tackles. He had that big interception. 5 catches, a touchdown, just, totally solid all the way around. Was not able to play him as much at running back as we could we couldn't because he played so much. And you just you have to watch those kids when they're playing that many plays. But just an outstanding night for him. Outstanding night all the way around. He's just a solid football player, and he's just going to be a great football player on the next level too. We're just real proud of Mikey.
Before we go to the break, some kids defensively. You mentioned Mikey and, of course, Smith with the fumble return. There were some other kids defensively that played well.
Well, I mean, the whole defense played well, especially early until a lot of people got tired. But, I thought Chase Silvers on the defensive line, I thought he just played outstanding all night. And even with all those plays, he kept on coming. And we've already mentioned Mikey. I thought our defensive backs played very well all the way around. Marcus Patton coming in there doing good things. Our cornerbacks played very tough. So linebackers played good, but they had a lot of plays on them. So it kind of showed up at the end. But, we kept fighting. And I think that's what you have to do. Malik Stevens had a big night. Unfortunately, he got hurt. His shoulder came out of place, so we got to keep him in our prayers. But, just the whole defense kept fighting. It was a hard night for defense. Anytime you go 229 plays, it's going to be a hard night. But they kept fighting, and they got it done and held a great team to 28 points. 28 points years ago would sound like a lot. That's not many points these days.
Well put. As we go to the break, again, last Friday night, rushing the ball, Science Hill 231 yards, passing the ball 307. Coach 538 yards of total offense, 52 points, satisfying win over a good football team out of Middle Tennessee.
Very satisfying. Big step for our program. We knew we had to have that, and, we're coming into Brentwood Academy. We needed this win. We don't get a whole lot of respect down there because we haven't did a whole lot on that side of the state. Us or Dobbins Bennett, either one, have not done a lot down there. So this was a big win, not just for our school, but I think for this area.
We'll take a break and talk about the team that we're heading down to play this Friday night. Big road trip. Heading down there to play one of the big boys. We want to come back with a big W, bring it back into the Tri-Cities and into Johnson City. We'll talk about that as we continue in the huddle with head coach Stacy Carter. You're watching Science Hill football. Back in the huddle, the head coach Stacy Carter talking Science Hill Hilltopper football. I'm your host, Tom Taylor, and coach. Siegel came this way last week. We got them 52-28. This time we go down that way. We get on the bus and go to Middle Tennessee with a very, very good opponent we're facing Friday night.
Playing Brentwood Academy, they have a great history of football in the state of Tennessee. I mean, everybody knows about Brentwood Academy. They played out a lot of great college football players, and we have the opportunity to go down. They have super facilities. Haven't been there, but have heard great things about them. Know the turf field, and just heard it's really, really nice down there. And we're excited about it. And we're excited taking we have a great football team. We're going to go down there and get after them, and it's going to be great competition, and we're looking forward to it.
They lost last week to Montgomery Bell Academy 52-44. They're now 4-1. Last year they came up here and got us pretty good 45-0. A little bit deceiving because the main cog went down early with an injury. Malik Magoo and some other guys got banged up, so it kind of snowballed on us. Not to take away the fact they're a good football team, but they didn't really see the true Hilltoppers last year.
Well, they had 6 guys to sign in the SEC last year, and I'm glad that those guys are all gone. Had one kid that's has already committed to LSU that moved out in California, and that's not hurting her feelings either. So, but they're definitely talented football program. Malik got hurt early. Mikey got hurt during warm-ups and had a tendon pop out of his finger. It's kind of a rough injury, and sidelined him for a long time until about the Dobbins-Bennett game. So we lost him for a long time, and they had some other key injuries and stuff, and it's hard to play like that. And we just got off to a bad start, and it snowballed on us, like you said. And we feel like we're a much improved football team this year. I think this is and we just want to see how far we've came. Think they're a great football team like always. Do not know if they're as good as they were last year. Their quarterback signed FCS offer, and he's not back, and he was a tremendous football player also. So they got some good ones replacing them, but they are different guys. So it'll be a different football team for sure.
Grade your football team after the Elizabeth and Crockett, Morristown West, and Siegel game, 4 under your belt. Grade your football team overall, A, B, C, or D right now.
Well, I think we got a high B. I mean, we're on our way. I definitely don't think we're an A yet. We got a long ways to go still, but we're still improving. We haven't topped out yet, and we're still improving. We're getting better at places. The coaches are still working very hard to get the young people involved and playing up to speed. And it seems like we're coming right now, but we haven't got exactly where we need to be yet.
So the scouting report in Brentwood, obviously you said they're a very good football team. What do they specialize? They throw it, they run it, they do both? Are they big? What's the scouting report in Brentwood?
They're very similar to us. They throw and run it about 50-50. And one of those teams have a very talented running back, quarterback. He's talented, runs the ball well also. Probably does not throw as well as the quarterback they had last year, but still throws well. Defensively, big, strong front. They're a 4-man front team and a big, strong front. Got a free safety that can flat out play. So they definitely have a lot of weapons out there. Some receivers that can go get it. It's a good football team. And it's, we're playing. When you play teams like that, you're going to get a good football team. So we're going to play our A game. We're going to be ready to go when we get down there. And but they're going to face a good football team also. So we're going to go down there, have fun, and get after it.
A statement game. Win that game, you'll be making a statement across the great state of Tennessee, won't you?
Oh, you definitely will. I mean, definitely one of the best football teams in the state, and they're at the private division too. I guess when somebody was grading, Tennessee football, Innsworth, Maryville comes up there, and especially Brentwood Academy, and the NBA too. But usually Brentwood, I think Brentwood lost some players last week. I think they, I heard they were not starting 10 people. Probably all 10 of them will be back for us. So not that was a reason that they lost, but it had to hurt them last week. So just a great football program, and it would be a big statement.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Go Toppers. That's my buddy, head coach Stacy Carter. That's going to do it for our second round of the In the Huddle program. Head coach Stacy Carter. Next week, we'll review the Brentwood Academy ball game, then get ready for another good football team coming to town. The Tennessee High Vikings will roll into Kermit-Tipton Stadium next Friday night. But this week, we'll worry about, again, Brentwood Academy, and we'll talk to Coach Carter about that next week. Again, thank you for watching. And, again, tell your neighbors, tell your friends, and give us a listen, give us a view. In the Huddle with head coach Stacy Carter. I'm your host, Tom Taylor, and you've been watching Science Hill Football.